Hello, everyone. This is Caroline with Thriving Abroad, the expat interviews, where I have an opportunity to meet and share with you the most amazing, beautiful, fearless people all over the globe that are living their best lives. And that's the most important thing. And I'm so excited today to bring you Miss Lena. And when I tell you she's living her best life, believe it. Welcome, Lena. Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So, belated happy birthday to you. How
Thank
how
you.
how cool is that to celebrate your birthday number 19 in
Well, at about 20 years to that.
How is it celebrating? First, you're in beautiful Mexico.
Yes, in Playa del Carmen.
You're in Playa. Okay, that's the new hot spot.
Mhm.
So what is it like? I'm going to go forward and then go back. What is it like celebrating your birthday in paradise at the Playa? What is it like for you?
Well, it was amazing. This time last year, I made a promise to myself that I would never again celebrate a birthday in the United States. And this was the first year of me keeping that promise to myself. And I actually just spent the day luxuriating. I went and had a 3 hour spa session. I went to the rooftop of a hotel and swam in the infinity pool and ate delicious food. And it was just a very beautiful, relaxing day for me.
Sometimes those are the most awesome experiences, isn't it? You're just,
Yeah,
loving on yourself, just
exactly.
being alone with yourself, in tune with yourself. I
Hmm.
I I, I feel like that's even better than having a big, celebration with all the confetti and everything. It's just
Hmm.
we don't often get to do that. So let's rewind back. So you are in Mexico. How did your journey start? Your expat journey?
Oh, my expat journey probably started more than a decade ago when I visited Brazil for the first time. I was there for 2 weeks on a volunteer vacation trip, and I loved it so much that I went back 2 years later. And that is when I first said to myself, I am destined to live abroad. Now, fast forward, it took me a decade to actually execute that plan. My lease was up in August of 2020. My plan was to travel throughout Central and South America, but COVID wouldn't let me be great. And then things for Playa kept popping up. I think a girlfriend told me about it because she had been here. And then somehow the Facebook group came on my radar. And I just felt like the universe was like, this is where you need to go. And I'm here now and I don't plan to ever go back.
That's so interesting and really beautiful what you said about the universe. And many of us who have done the expat journey, it was just something inside of you, right? You can't
Hmm.
describe it. It's just that inner voice that just says,
Yes.
you got to do this. And then when you
Hmm.
do it, you're like, yep, this is it.
Yep.
So, so here you are living at the beach. Now, how is your Spanish? Did you have any cultural knowledge of Mexico at all? Oh, and what state are you from originally?
I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm originally from Philadelphia. Beyond high school Spanish, my Spanish is not that great. I actually start lessons in March. I've been here since late September, but I'll tell you, I pick up on a lot of things. You pick up on the language when you're just living day to day. So that's been helpful. And I actually live more inland. I don't live right by the beach. I'm about a 10-minute taxi drive from the beach. So that helps me communicate with the local people a little more.
Yeah, that is important, right? To just immerse yourself in the culture. And the
Hmm.
best way to learn, I guess, is if you got to just scratch and claw your way through the language.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So, okay. So, are you feeling comfy now? It's been several months. I mean, Mexico is fitting on you, nice fit. You love this space, this country.
I do. It took me a while to feel settled, I'll be honest with you. It's just within the last 2 weeks, I'd say, because I'm finally settled in my long-term apartment, really getting to know where I live. So I am a little more comfortable now and it feels good. It's home for now. I'm definitely going to be here long term. I don't know if it's my forever home yet. There's still some places I would love to explore, but I'm doing what I consider slow travel. I'm going to be here as long as I want until it doesn't feel good anymore. And then
That's
I'll
a
go
great
on to the
idea.
next place.
That's an awesome idea. And I like also that you said that about, because a lot of times we say, well, if I pack up and I move to Mexico or Panama, what am I going to do if I don't like anymore? And I mean, just pack up and go somewhere else.
Go somewhere else. Yep.
Yeah, there's really, I mean, no end all, we're like, oh, but if, a lot of folks just think that I'm here because I moved to Costa Rica 13 years ago and here I am in Mexico,
Right.
after two other countries. So you just never know. You just never know. That's part of the experience, I guess.
It is.
So this is a question I like to ask folks because I feel like it's important, especially for women when you made the decision to move, did you get any pushback from family, from friends, especially wanting to come to Mexico?
That is a really great question. The people who know me well were not at all surprised by this move. They knew that it was inevitable. They were sad to see me go, but they totally understood me making this transition in my life. The only time I would really get questions was from people who didn't know me intimately. And their opinions held no weight with me. So because they didn't know me. But my family, my closest friends, they, sent me off with love. So I have not really experienced pushback from those who I care about the most.
And that is very important, I think, and I'm sure you agree, when you have the support of your friends
Hmm.
and family, it makes it a little bit easier. But when people are, a little bit opposed to what you want to do, sometimes it can be a little tug on the
Hmm.
heartstrings.
For
Um,
sure.
so you have said that you have no desire to return to the US to live, as far as you know, right?
As far as I,
Um, why?
that is such a good question. You know, it's inherent. It's not something that I can really put into words. What I can say is that I feel more myself. I feel more beautiful. I feel more free when I am not in the United States of America. There is a weight that's lifted, I think. Um, just that everyday struggle of life that we deal with. Maybe it's maybe it's ancestral. I'm not really sure, but whatever it is, it's lifted when I'm not there. I recently had to go back to Philadelphia to handle some business, and when I tell you that weight came back on me, my thoughts were spiraling. I was thinking about things I hadn't given any thought to in months. And I was just like, this is not good for my mental health. So that's my why.
Yep. So you, as many people that are traveling now and looking to live abroad, you are a digital nomad.
Hmm.
You are in the digital space. You have a travel agency.
Hmm.
You have an amazing, unique podcast. You're an entrepreneur.
Yes.
All of these beautiful things that you get to do. Um, Tell us a little bit about your travel agency. What is your niche?
Good question. I would say that my niche is romance travel. I love planning romantic trips for people. honeymoon, baby moon, anniversary. I get so much joy out of planning something like that. I actually have two clients, two friends who are leaving today. I have a former army buddy who contacted me. He said, I need to get away. And I said, come to Playa. So I was actually able to convince him to come. But generally speaking, romance travel is my niche.
That's great. And also, you have a podcast
Mhm.
that is very unique. And I'm giving you this plug because I listened to it and I was just blown away. I don't know if it makes me want to sleep or just, I don't know, or other things, but it was just, it's really cool. How did that come about?
Oh, that's such a good question. I'm a terrible sleeper. And I have been most of my adult life. And it came to me in a dream one night to just start, recording books in a low, relaxed tone to help people fall asleep. And I had seen a psychic earlier last year of 2020, a woman I see on a regular basis, and she told me that I was entering into a creative time and not to ignore anything that came to mind. So I really paid attention to this. And when I started to record, the protests for George Floyd were starting to ramp up. And I said, you know what? I'm only going to read books by Black authors. Like, I'm not one to be in the streets protesting. That's not my ministry. I've done it. I know that's not my ministry. So I was thinking that maybe this is a way for me to help people rest who are, deep into the fight. And that's how it came about.
And and we'll put the link to your podcast below. I think it's just amazing just to listen to that. So, kind of wrapping it up, here you are in Mexico. You're living your best life, or the best life that you can create for yourself. Any
Mhm.
advice to anyone, women especially, because I feel like it's a different dynamic with women as opposed to men.
Mhm.
What words of advice would you give someone who is thinking, contemplating doing what you've done?
I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give is that this transition will not be without its struggle, but remain patient because the reward at the end is so much greater. You're going to have to get used to the cultural differences, and that's such a challenge. Um, but once you get over that hump and any other hump that might come along with making such a huge transition in your life, the reward at the end will all be worth it. So just stick with it.
Those are beautiful words. Last thing, if you were, being a travel agent, of course, you have access to the world.
Mhm.
If you weren't in Mexico, where would be the next place that you would love to visit or to spend time?
I want to go next to the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica. And then I also see myself heading back to Brazil at some point, specifically Bahia, Salvador de Bahia, Brazil.
That's a beautiful place. It's definitely on my list of places to go. Lena, it has been so wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this little bit of you and your journey. And we're going to share your information below so that anyone who wants to reach out to you can do so on the gram, right? You're on the gram. What,
I
what,
am
where do we find you on the gram?
at Lean Bean everywhere. Lean Bean, like a pinto bean everywhere.
Okay, Miss Lean Bean, we're gonna find you. We're gonna look you up. Thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure. Many
I thank
blessings to
you.
you. This is an amazing journey for you, I'm sure, and be blessed and continue to live your best life in Playa
Thank you
del
so
Carmen.
much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.